Well, the goal that I was specifically brought in for was connecting us with the blockchain art community, which is really fascinating in a lot of ways that we might cover, and also looking at research initiatives.
Hi, I'm Brian Colligan from Alphagrowth, and today we're here at Starfish Mission. It's San Francisco Blockchain Week 2018. I'm here with Beth of Starfish Networks. Beth, how are you?
Good.
Good? Cool. Tell me about Starfish Networks.
Yeah, so I lead art and research initiatives here. Our goal was, the goal that I was specifically brought in for was connecting us with the blockchain art community, which is really fascinating in a lot of ways that we might cover, and also looking at research initiatives. So every week I lead a mechanism design working group, which is kind of a research group looking at game theory, computational models of behavior, behavioral economics, like systemizing behavior in such a way that it can be applied within a system and also understood within a system. So
interesting.
Cool.
So we talked before about the art pieces that you have here. We have some like really beautiful art pieces up here. Can you talk about that or the commission collection that you have?
Yeah, so this group of art pieces that we have up right now is based on, it's the art pieces that we featured in a build-a-thon that Matthew McCarthy and I organized on Saturday. So it's was part of this build-a-thon we called Culture Industry Experiments. We were very interested in this idea of if there's the culture industry, which was defined by people 100 years ago as being like the promotion of certain ideals, certain ethics, certain like ways of viewing the world as transmitted by culture, as understood by culture. Like, what does that mean for the modern age? That was, I guess, the modern age. The post-most modern age, whatever that means, I don't know. But yeah, so it's basically how can we use the art ecosystem as like a sandbox to understand blockchain, but also as this like reflective structure for blockchain as this like way of like reimagining like economics to like understand itself. So there's a lot of fascinating ideas that come about with like authenticity, provenance, like how identity like informs those two things. So it's like when there is the identity of an individual as transmitted through an asset that exists in a system that feeds back into the individual's identity, that the individual's identity informs, that the value and commodification of a particular asset like moves through a system. And what does it actually mean to value that? Like,
so you are what you eat, you are what you consume, so the art that you choose to consume kind of becomes who you are and reflects on you, and then it reflects on how you view the art again and again. And
I think it's very interesting to place it in the consumptive like place that you put it, because it's like it's the art that you express. So it's like in TCR, like token curation like registries, like those would be defined by the art that's created theoretically. It's like literally curating like what is the most valuable, like what are the most valuable infrastructures within an overarching infrastructure, and but also so it's like placing a value on what you create and what you buy.
So do you focus on the creation, the development, the sale, the commission, the full stack of all of those kind of services and those pieces?
So I would say I don't focus on any of those things specifically as much as the idea of looking at each of those as its own use case that raises a lot of other questions to create this kind of like framework for developers, for designers, for people who are like very interested in building something tangible, to look at like use those as like a prompt and a use case for building tangible dApps, tangible like protocols and like tokenomic systems.
Awesome. So we're at San Francisco Blockchain Week. What are you most excited about? What are you looking to see?
So I know at the Crypto Economic Security Conference, which is tomorrow, and the next day, then there's some really interesting talks about those exact things where it's like, what is the next frontier? Is it art? Is it engineering? And then I assume what those will delve into is like non-fungible tokens, these token curated registries, these different ways of identifying art as an asset, identifying the consumers and creators as people who like enter into like this asset-defined system. So I'm just really looking forward to seeing what the discussion is like outside of our kind of like, you know, nucleus of
Nice.
people talking about the same things and like turning them over all over again and seeing what happens.
That's
so.
super cool. Beth, if somebody wants to reach out to you or learn more information about Starfish Networks, how can they reach out?
Yeah, so you should email Beth at starfish.network, or I'm on all of the things as Ontology Machine. So yeah, because I really love ontologies and figuring out where things are in relation to each other. So yeah, find me in that way.
Beth, thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Great.